A very good evening, Team Zimbabwe. Masquerase. Welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network, where we give you the latest trending news in the nation of Zimbabwe without fear, without favor. So let us talk about what is happening in the nation of Zambia. The former president of Zambia, Lungu, and Hakainde Hichilema seems to be clashing as Lungu lodges a High Court application. So here, Dedi Hope says former Zambian President Edgar Lungu has lodged a High Court application in Lusaka challenging the Zambian government's refusal to let him fly out to South Korea to attend a conference. The application states that Lungu was stopped on the grounds that he needed cabinet authority to leave the country. The application will be heard tomorrow in Lusaka by High Court judge. So this is what is happening in the nation of Zambia. It's a moment of madness. Zimbabwe, Zambia, moment of madness. A lot of things are happening. Remember, Edgar Lungu is being accused of working with ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF clearly indicated through people like Matrinyarare, clearly indicated that they were targeting Hakainde Hichilema by death, but not only death, they also talked about how a coup can happen in Zambia, something which didn't go well with the Zambian security forces. That is the reason why you saw Hakainde Hichilema issuing a statement, a warning to some comrades who believe that they can work out a plan to remove the democratically elected government in Zambia. So the tensions have now taken a new level. Edgar Lungu is now in the midst of these tensions. Remember, at a certain point in time, Edgar Lungu was invited to Zimbabwe and he came for the inauguration. And right now, he wanted to travel to South Korea and to a conference. And the Zambian government says that the cabinet was supposed to authorize his movement to South Korea. So this is the reporting team Zimbabwe, but it has caused a lot of challenges, a lot of problems, a lot of troubles, because the man had to take the government to court after he was denied that exit he needed so much. So those are team Zimbabwe across the Limpopo. I'm trying to put the court application right here on the screen, but my network is taking more time. So this is the court application here, Team Zimbabwe, which is right here on the screen. So it's in the matter. Okay, it's they're using Order 53 of the Supreme Court of England, 1999 edition, white book. Okay. Pakasaitwa nyaya dzakawanda panapa, dzana England, dzana chichi, zvacho zvakasaitwa panapa zvakawanda, but it's an application for judicial review of the decision of the Director of Immigration to stop the applicant from traveling to South Korea for reasons that he must seek permission from Cabinet Office before he travel, as communicated by him to him by Miss Linda Mtonga. So the question is Lungu traveling on the state's expenditure, or he's traveling on his own expenses? So if he's traveling using his own expenses, I feel that he was supposed to be let go. But if he is traveling using state funds, then I think if the laws say that he needed to have that application allowed, maybe that is what was supposed to happen. But remember, the tensions within Zambia at this moment in time. Lungu was in Harare and he sought to go to South Africa. The state refused to carry the costs of his traveling. Then he's supposed to go to South Korea for a conference. I believe this is a conference of ex-presidents or whatever, which is happening. And Edgar Lungu was supposed to be there and was dragged out of a plane. That is the report which we got. So there is a lot of criticism regarding this move and regarding the move of stopping Edgar Lungu. and it's something we're going to watch closely and see what is going to happen next. It shows that a lot of things are happening within the borders of Zambia. Can the government of Hakainde Hichilema trust anybody who is leaving the country right now? At the moment, anything can happen. At the moment, they've been threatened with a coup. Will they let somebody go out so easily? It is going to be a very difficult moment. And remember, I believe President Hakainde Hichilema was not in the country by the time he was stopped, but some decisions are made by the people who are within the security forces who might have critical information or first-hand information about some issues which might cause instability in the nation of Zambia. This is my view. So ndozviri kuitika muZimbabwe. Let me take a few comments here. Zvikanzi HH needs to ride above such pettiness. While Lungu may have access to answer, and while HH's woes at the hands of Lungu may justify his actions, he's a good leader, and I'm sure he can do better to avoid such seemingly revenge politics. Okay, and the Lungu played dirty in these times. Whether the allegations are true or false, or whatever it is, they must monitor his movement. It isn't a dictatorship, but state protection. Zvikanzi he is not a threat, otherwise he must answer his corruption cases. Zvikanzi ngaagare kumba, aroda kuenda kupi. He closed this line by supporting Vene. Okay, zvikanzi made HH leave Lungu fly anywhere he wants. Okay, these are contributions. This is a clear sign of dictatorship by HH. SADC isn't home to such hypocrites. Okay, so does he really need the cabinet approval before leaving the country according to the constitution, or someone is using that as a loophole to obstacle him? So what rubbish is that in a democratic country? Cabinet needs to sit to discuss travel plans of a former president as if he is their constitutional monarch. In my view, Team Zimbabwe, vana Lungu pavakapinda mugovernment, I'm not so sure about which party was in power before the Lungus came in, but I believe kuti pavakauya they might have changed the constitution to suit a certain narrative, to suit themselves, because they wanted to punish someone, and the same laws might be hounding them right away. Take a look onto the laws which were passed by ZANU-PF recently. Just imagine if Triple C gets into power. That law remains there, and it will be enforced by the law enforcement agencies up until it is removed from the constitution. So you see that a lot of people will call that persecution, will call that dictatorship, but that is the reason why we were condemning the enactment of these laws anodzvanyirira vamwe vanhu, because you don't know tomorrow. Mangwana unomuka ndiwo wako opposition and it will be something different altogether. So it is what it is in Zimbabwe. I don't know, guys, what you think about all this, but hanzi Felistas zvikanzi anopenga Lungu ngaasungise essay yakaisa ban ngaarapwe ikoko apindewo muzvipatara zvinopinda vanhu. Okay, thank you very much Felistas for this contribution. So it is what it is in Zimbabwe. Zviri kutachashurana, zviri kutatsurana paZambia. Edgar Lungu has taken the Zambian president, so the Zambian government to court, or he has lodged a high court challenge, a high court application in Lusaka, challenging the Zambian government's refusal to let him fly out to South Korea to attend a conference. So, ndomamirira zvakaita. Let us have a discussion in the comment section.